So there was this clip going around on Twitter yesterday of Joe Biden talking about something, and I want to be really clear about what we're going to be doing on today's show. It's really just an exercise in thought, really. You could almost refer to it as a hearing test of sorts. Now, I'm going to take a clip of Joe Biden talking out of context, and the reason why I'm doing that is because the actual thing he's talking about, I don't really care to discuss today. I want to be really clear about this. What he's actually talking about doesn't matter. I just want you to hear the words coming out of his mouth, okay? Because it's really important. Now, I'm going to play a clip for you, and then we're going to talk about why this single clip has kept me up at night and is all I thought about in the shower this morning. Now, here we go.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
Now, I want you to listen very closely to the end of this clip that I just played you. Don't worry about what he's don't worry about what he said before it. I just want you to listen to the words and then think in your head about what he said.
End of quote. Repeat the line.
Now, to me, it sounds like he said, end of quote, repeat the line.
Because he did.
So I believe he's just reading what the teleprompter said. If you actually watch the video, he's clearly squinting at a teleprompter or flashcards, whatever it is. He's squinting to read something. Now, it doesn't really matter if he's having trouble seeing it or if he's having trouble saying it. What really matters is the fact that you hear him say,
end of quote. Repeat the line.
I can hear you thinking to yourself,
Derek, why does this matter? Why have we listened to this clip so many times over?
We're going to keep doing it because the White House is trying to convince you that that's not what he said.
Therapy. Season 3 of 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 Therapy. It's season 3.
So Joe Biden having a little misstep, a little stutter, him saying something wrong while trying to read a teleprompter, do a speech, whatever. It's not that uncommon. And I thought this was one of the instances where I truly don't even think it's worth talking about at all. Okay, he's reading a teleprompter, he's supposed to repeat the line, and instead of repeating the line, he says the words out loud.
Repeat the line.
It's not news, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything. But here's what changes everything. No more teasing. This is a response to that clip from the official White House assistant press secretary, okay? She responds to this clip and she says,
No. He said, quote, let me repeat that line.
Let me repeat that line. Now, we've listened to the clip a couple times. I'm going to let you listen to it again because somebody that works for the White House is saying that Joe Biden actually said, let me repeat that line. Here's what he actually said.
Do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
Why do you hear him say end of quote? I'm adding that in there so you know what he said right before it, just so we can be clear that there is no let me there. Why would you lie about this? I don't understand. Also, furthermore, she says, repeat that line. He clearly says, repeat the line. So if you're going to try and make a correction to something, at least get part of it right. It's all wrong. The reason why this is so weird to me is because it's not even anything that really matters. Joe Biden says stuff that doesn't make sense all the time, and people don't really feel the need to come out and try and defend him. For example,
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put
Okay, actually, I just been meaning to share that with somebody for a while. But the thing is, I made a whole episode about the weird things that Joe Biden says. It was episode 53. It was forever ago. Feels like years ago. The point I'm trying to make is I don't understand the need to try and pretend like something happened that didn't. I don't know if you're familiar with the term gaslighting. I'm sure you are. For those that don't know what gaslighting is, it's basically you catch your kid taking a cookie out of the cookie jar and you're like, why did you do that? And he's like, I didn't do it. And he's literally eating the cookie. That's gaslighting. You're trying to make me feel like I'm not seeing what I'm seeing right now and trying to convince me that this
do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
Is someone saying, let me repeat that line is such a strange thing to do. Why would you do that? Now I'm going to let you listen to a clip where Joe Biden, slurs one of his words or something. And it would actually make sense for the assistant White House press secretary to come out and say, this is actually what he meant to say. Now listen to this clip.
10 years old. And she was forced to have to travel out of the state to Indiana to seek to terminate the presidency and maybe save her life.
Now, clearly, he meant to say terminate her pregnancy. I don't think a 10-year-old is having to travel to try and terminate Joe Biden's presidency. Like, clearly he misspoke there. That sounds like something that's worth clearing up if people are questioning it. Most people understand what he actually said. But this clip where he's saying,
so, end of quote. Repeat the line.
Does not require Emily Simmons of the White House to come out and try and convince you that that's not what he said. It's okay. Like, it really doesn't even matter that much. So that's just been irking me. And I know what you're thinking, Derek, you're beating a dead horse. Well, guess what? I'm not done. See, like, if it was just the White House assistant press secretary pretending that Biden said something that he didn't, like, it would be fine. You know, I guess in a way she's paid to lie. I guess that's the job of people that work in the White House, working for the president, trying to make it seem like he's something he's not. Like, fine, whatever. I can accept that. But here's somebody with like a relatively large following on Twitter, somebody that has 185,000 followers. This guy named Brett Masilas, whatever. He co-founded this company called Midas Touch. I guess they make content, political content. Who cares? It doesn't matter. So my issue isn't necessarily with the initial gaslighting. Once again, it's kind of her job, I guess. What's weird to me is like the very strange, like doubling down, tripling down, trying to like over-explain why you didn't hear what you heard with your own ears. Now, before I read his commentary on this very divisive issue, I'm going to let you listen to this clip again, just so you understand how truly out of touch this man is.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so, end of quote. Repeat the line.
This is blatant disinformation to distract from the message. He said, let me repeat that line, and then said it again for emphasis. You don't even have to have experience with a teleprompter to know that an instruction to, quote, repeat the line, unquote, would never be put on a teleprompter.
Okay, well, here's the thing. As somebody that went to the School of Journalism and received a bachelor's in multimedia journalism, I agree. It doesn't really make sense to add that to a teleprompter. But if you actually watch the video, you can clearly see right after he makes this mistake, he starts to squint at the teleprompter, and the more he speaks, the more trouble he has. So clearly, he was reading the teleprompter when he said it. In fact, here is him speaking right after he said, repeat the line.
Women are not without electoral and or political, or maybe precise, not and or political power.
So he's clearly struggling, and it's fine. Not everybody has the benefit of editing like me, or the benefit of being able to read as if, you know, they don't have eyes that are 907 years old. It doesn't matter. I think the most frightening kind of liar is the type of liar that lies about like the smallest, most insignificant things. And look, like, I'm not pretending like what happens in the White House or around the White House or whatever Joe Biden's talking about, like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that stuff affects my day-to-day life. I just think to myself, you know, if they're willing to lie about something that's so like inconsequential, then like what aren't they willing to lie about? Who aren't they willing to lie to? Last thing on this, because like we're really dragging this thing out, and it really doesn't matter that much. But here's how committed the White House is to this completely unnecessary lie. A Twitter user named Jerry Dunleavy, he tweeted this screenshot from the official White House transcript. So there's this website you can go to, and they basically transcribe every single thing that the president says. And on this official White House transcript, it says
that Biden said,
quote,
"It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who registered to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so." End of quote. Let me repeat the line.
So, first of all, the assistant White House press secretary said that he said, "Let me repeat that line." The transcript says, "Let me repeat the line." And then when you hear him actually speak, he just says,
repeat the line.
Editor Derek, make sure you add a link to the description so people can go read the White House transcript. They probably won't.
Nope.
But the White House transcript actually says, "Let me repeat the line." White House Press Secretary Assistant Emily Simmons says, "Let me repeat that line." Joe Biden actually says, "Repeat the line." So why we're spending so much time trying to cover this thing up, I don't understand. It doesn't mean anything, but it's just very strange to me. Like, I've just never seen such a concerted effort. I mean, the official White House transcript is just making things up that the president said. So history won't even really, like, how are we even going to know what this man ever really said if all of his gaffes and goofs are just going to be covered? Like, again, it doesn't really mean anything to me. It's just one of those things that like only really exist on Twitter. And this Emily Simmons girl, the assistant White House press secretary, man, did she learn her lesson? Because I was going through her timeline, and usually her tweets get like little to no engagement, like under 100 people interact with all of her tweets. And this tweet that she put out trying to explain what he said when he didn't say it has 15,000 replies. So that gives me a little bit of hope for our future. Maybe not everyone's willing to be gaslit by this White House. It gives me a little bit of hope, but not that much. I just wanted to talk about this today. Haven't posted on here in like a month. And I'm sure you all have been wondering why I haven't been posting the podcast.
Nope. No. Shut up.
Okay, that's fine. Well, whatever. I'll be back whenever I can. Thanks for tuning in. Love you. Mean it. Enjoy the outro.
Hey, one take. I'm going mean like Ruben on a bad day. I be going hard, never halfway. Lately feeling bad, man, but I can't be staying down. I'm the one who's slaying sound, no time to be playing around. I'm not one to play a clown, play the hero, save a town. Only live twice, how you do that? Gotta wear like two caps, come home, they like, who that? It's that dude who do raps, but this ain't no Taco Bell. Kiro, some respect now, you know how I get down. Bust down on my wrist now, oh wow, he a liar. One day I'll get flyer, situation dire. Sometimes think I'm drowning, I like to go higher. First need to be hired, check my skills and accolades. Don't you think I deserve pay? I've been going super sane, all I'm missing yellow hair. Idolized breezy as a child, then I grown up. Still waiting to glow up, but at least I show up. Make a buck by showing off. Haters, man, I blow them off. Shrug my shoulders, moving boulders mentally like Mewtwo. They like, who knew he'd be cutting up like 2-year-olds in timeout when you tell them that it's time not to just chill out and just lie down. But they stressing you while blessing you, cause children are a gift, but I can wait for that, can't pay for that. I'm taking one day at a time, perfect the craft and keep it tight. Cannot waste a second if you wanna be the best, and I be snapping like Cortez or something, going Kanye West or something. Reputation to protect. If you looking at it crazy, then I'm going for your neck. I'm a lion on the prowl. I be fibbing and a threat. My bro saying they forget, and they just reminding me. You better keep an eye on me. I swear y'all so behind on me. 2046 flow. You know how this shit go. Waiting on the money like I'm beating up on Marty Bird. Why y'all think it's funny like I'm on a stage at open mic? I swear to God I'll fucking fight.